Namaste, everyone. So, I'm about to read Book 5, Chapter 27, on the description of the War of Raktabija. Hari Om. Vakratuna Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirviganam Kurumideva Sarvakaya Susharvada Om Ekadantaya Vidmi Om Vakratundaya Dimitano Danti Prachodayat Hari Om Hamsa Hamsaye Vidmi Paramahamsaye Dimitano Hamsa Prachodayat Om Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasme Shri Guruve Nama. Vyasa said, O king, seeing the two Danavas killed in the battle, the remnant soldiers all fled away back to Shumba. Some of them were cut and wounded in many places by arrows. Some had their arms severed. Some were bleeding. Thus they entered crying into the sky. On reaching the Lord of the Dechas, they began to make frequently the noise indicative of danger and exclaimed, O king, save us, save us. Kalika is devouring everything today. The two great warriors, Chanda and Munda, the tormentors of the Devas, were slain by her. All the soldiers were devoured by her. We have fled away, panic-stricken. O Lord, Kalika has rendered the battlefield horrible by the dead bodies of elephants, horses, camels, warriors, and foot soldiers. A river of blood is flowing there, of which the flesh of the soldiers is sufficient mud. Their hairs are like aquatic plants. The broken chariot wheels are like whirlpools. The severed arms and feet are like fishes, and their heads look like tumby fruits, long gourds. O king, save your line. Go quickly to Patala. The Devi has become angry and will no doubt destroy our race. Even the lion is eating away the Danavas, and the Kalika Devi is killing innumerable Danavas by her arrows. Therefore, O king, what intentions are you cherishing in your mind? It is that you have desired to be merely slain with your younger brother Nishumba. And what good purpose with this cruel woman destroying your race serve, for whose sake you have desired to kill all your friends? O king, victory or defeat in this world are under the Deva. The wise never risk to meet with great difficulties for the gratification of an ordinary whim. O Lord, look at the wonderful deeds of that great Creator. What more wonder can there be than this, than a woman alone killed all the Danavas? O king, you have conquered by the help of your army all the Lokapalas, which are guardians of the quarters of the sky. But now that lady, though alone and unsupported by anybody, is challenging you to fight. O king, in ancient times, in the holy pilgrimage of Puskara, the sacred place of the Devas, you performed austerities when Brahma, the grandsire of all the worlds, came to you to grant a boon. Then you asked the boon and wanted to be immortal. But when Brahma refused to grant it, you wanted from him and were granted that you would not be killed by any male being, be he a Deva, Danava, a man, Naga, Kinara, Yaksha, or any other person. O Lord, for that very reason, we think now that this lady has timely come to kill you. Think over it seriously and cease fighting. Think over it seriously and cease fighting. O king, this Devi is the great Mahamaya, the highest Prakriti. It is she that devours everything at the end of a kalpa. This auspicious Devi is the creatrix of all the worlds and the Devas. She is the embodiment of the three qualities, endowed with all the powers. She is Tamasi, i.e., is the destructrix of the whole world. This Devi can never be conquered, imperishable, eternal. She is the Sandhya and the refuge of the Devas. She is Gayatri, the mother of the Vedas. She is all-knowing and always manifested. This undecaying lady is void of any prakritic attributes. Though she at times possesses attributes, she is success incarnate and bestows success to all. She is bliss herself and gives bliss to all. This Gauri bids all the Devas discard all their fears. She is Shuddha Sattva. Thus knowing, O king, quit thy inimical feelings to her. Seek refuge unto her. The Devi would then certainly protect you. Be obedient to her and save your race. Then the remnant Danavas would be able to live for a very long time. Vyasa said, O king, hearing thus Shumba, the conqueror of the Devas, told them, truly in words becoming of a hero. Shumba said, O fools, hold your tongue. You have fled because your desire to live is very strong. So you better go to Patala without any delay. This world is under the control of fate, so I need not think about victory. I am under this fate, just as Brahma and other Devas are under it. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Yama, Agni, Varuna, Surya, Chandra, and Indra are all under the sway of this destiny. O fools, whatever is inevitable will certainly come to pass. What need I think over it then? The effort also comes to be of such a nature as will lead to that ordained by fate. Thus thinking, the wise never grieve, especially the wise ones never leave their own dharma for fear of death. The happiness, pain, longevity, birth, and death of all the embodied souls are all determined by faith when their proper time arrives. See, when the time is over, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahadeva, the Lord of Parvati, die away. On the expiration of their terms of lives, Indra and other Devas go to destruction. Similarly, I am also completely under the sway of time. So what doubt is there that I, too, will go to destruction when I have observed my own dharma? This lady is challenging me to fight of her own will. How can I fly away and live hundreds of years? I will fight today. Let the result come whatever it may. I will gladly take the victory or defeat, whatever the case may be. The learned, approving of the cause of effort, declare fate as fictitious. Those who realize their sayings know that they are full of reason. Without exertion, no end can be achieved. Weak persons depend on the destiny. Foolish persons say that fate is strong, but the wise do not say so. There is no proof whether fate exists or not. In fact, what is called fate is invincible. How can it be seen? Has anybody seen fate? It is simply a scare for the illiterate. Remedy only to console one's mind in times of distress. Simple proximity to a grind mill without any man's effort cannot grind a material. Therefore, if exertion to be made in proportion to the gravity of the work, success is sure to ensure. If exertion be made less in proportion, the work does not come to a successful issue. In time, place, and one's enemies' forces be correctly taken into account, and then if the proper attempts be made, success follows. Thus, Brihaspati has said. Vyasa said, O king, thus making a firm resolve to send the powerful Raktabija to the battle with a vast army, Shumba said, O Raktabija, you are a very powerful hero. Therefore, do you go to the battle. O fortunate one, fight as you are the strength of your forces. Raktabija said, O king, you need not be a bit anxious for this work. Certainly I will either slay her or I will bring her under your control. Please see my skill in this warfare. That lady, favorite of the gods, is worth nothing. I will now conquer her and make her your slave. Vyasa said, O best of Kurus, thus saying, the powerful Raktabija mounted on his chariot and went to the battle accompanied by his forces. The battle line consisted of cavalry, infantry, chariots, and elephants. Thus surrounded, he departed from the city for that Devi, seated on a mountain top. Then the Devi, seeing him coming, blew her conch shell. The Danavas were terrified at that sound, and the joy of the Devas increased. Hearing that sound, Raktabija came very hurriedly to Chamunda and began to speak to her sweetly. O girl, do you think me weak, and thus want to terrify me with the sound of a conch shell? O lean one, you have taken me to be a Dharmalochana. O sweet-speaking one, my name is Raktabija. I have come here for thy sake. If thou desirest to fight, be prepared. I am not a bit afraid of that. But dear, you saw those who were weak. I do not belong to that class. Therefore, thou fight as thou likest, and then thou wilt be able to ascertain my strength. O beautiful, if thou didst serve the old persons before, if thou hadst heard the science of politics and morals, if thou hadst studied the political economy, join the assemblage of the pundits, or if thou hast been well versed in literature and tantras, then hear this my good counsel, which will serve as a medicinal diet to thee. Out of the 9 sentiments, the Shringara, amorous love sentiments, and Santi, peace, are considered as the chief by the assemblage of the pundits. Again, out of these 2, the love sentiment is the king, drenched with this sentiment. Vishnu lives with Kamala. Brahma, the four-faced, lives with Savitri. Indra with Sachi, and Shankara resides with his wife Uma. The 3 stands with creepers surrounding it. The deer lives with his family deer. The deer lives with his female deer. The pigeon lives with the female pigeon. Thus, all the beings are very attached to the sentiment of remaining in couples. Those who cannot enjoy owing to certain disease or illness, they are deprived of fate of such enjoyments. Those who are ignorant of this love sentiment in couples, they are deprived of it by the sweet jugglery of words of the cheat, and yet attached to the peace sentiment. When delusion, the destroyer of buddhi, the common sense occurs, when the violent, indomitable anger, greed, and lust arise, where then is the place for knowledge and dispassion. Therefore, O auspicious one, dost thou marry the beautiful Shumba, or the powerful Nishumba? Vyasa said, O king, when Raktabija spoke all these words, standing before the Devi Kalika, Ambika and Chamunda began to laugh. Here ends the 27th chapter of the 5th book on the description of the war of Raktabija in Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, the Maha Puranam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kashima Shipadatri Swaha Swadha Namastute. Hari Om.